Why calisthenics builds muscle is because we understand that mechanical tension is what drives growth. It's not the equipment you use. It's not the form of resistance. Your muscles don't care if your chest is being stressed from a set of dips or if it's from a flat bench press. If you're pushing it hard, if you're working that target muscle group, that mechanical tension that is accrued during your working set is going to grow. This graph here, I would actually contend that it would be from 5 to up to 30 reps as the nice range in which you can grow. If we go less than 5, it's starting to get into strength territory, really heavy, really fatiguing, a lot of rest required. It is difficult to accrue enough volume with sets of singles, doubles, triples, or fours. And if we go higher than 30 reps, there is also some drawbacks to that as well. What is awesome is that a wide amount of rep ranges can get the job done. If you're doing at least 5 reps, you're going to be building muscle. If you're working close to failure, or you're only leaving maybe a rep in reserve, or you're actually reaching failure if it is safe to do so. The only difference between a low rep set and a high rep set is when those high threshold motor units start being recruited. So if you're doing a heavy set of, say, 6, it's going to feel slow, hard, almost from the get-go if you're working at an honest level of intensity with the weight that you're using. If you're doing a set of 30 reps, you're going to tap into those high threshold motor units in those final handful of reps in your set. The basic takeaway here is, as long as if you're training to failure close within that, maybe a few reps in reserve at most for most exercises, you can be confident that you're building muscle across a wide spectrum of rep ranges. Now, if you're using bodyweight exercises to build muscle, you're likely to be using higher reps on your compound exercises, and that's just going to be a feature in your routine. I think for most of us here, we're going to be plenty challenged on our pull-ups and dips for at least up to 20 reps. And I think that's absolutely fine to be able to build muscle with that rep range. If, on the other hand, you said to me, Daniel, okay, the research shows that up to 50 reps can even theoretically build muscle, why don't I just do push-ups up to 50 reps? And I would say, theoretically, that is possible to grow at such a high number of reps as long as if you're close to failure. But practically, we know there is downsides of really high rep ranges. Once you start getting 35, 40, 45, 50 reps, anyone that has ever done a set of that many reps to true effort close to failure knows that it's absolutely disgusting and it's not sustainable. This is where I'm not going to come at you here with my lecturer PhD hat and just say, yeah, man, bodyweight exercise will work up until that point. They can. But I know that if we're tasked with a high rep set, we're not going to be pushing to the level of effort we are because the pump gets disgusting. It can be quite nauseating, psychologically extremely difficult to do that for one set, let alone 2. And there's smarter ways to do it. That's where weighted calisthenics comes in. And that's going to be a feature of what I'm going to teach you today. When you add load to movements, you are going to tap into those high threshold motor units. You're going to be challenged in lower rep ranges, and it'll fit really nicely into your routine. But also keep in mind, at the end of your workout, just doing some pull-ups at the end of a back day, if you're getting out 15, 20-ish of those for a couple of sets, that can really be quite effective. And you don't just have to do more sets of lat pull downs or machine rows. You can do bodyweight finishes as well. They can be really effective. In other news, I've got you a gift. I want you to click below to download my free full body calisthenics workout. I'll teach you how to get big and strong with old school bodyweight training.